And we're back! Welcome to episode 2 of Let's Play Super Castlevania 4. I'm ExoParadigmGamer, and in this part we're going to be tackling 2 more levels. This next one, this is where the levels start to get long. Like, the second level was short as shit, man. But all the other levels from this point out, kind of long. And, I guess one of my nitpicks, maybe. The levels, if there could have been more levels and each of them could have been a little shorter, that would have been nice, but, they're pretty generous with checkpoints in general, so, and they also give you 5 lives instead of 3, which is always something that was annoying about the NES games. You get like 3 fuck-ups, and then you have to redo the whole level. But this one, you get a little bit more leeway. You get a couple of freebies, if you will. And that was kind of a problem in Castlevania 3. Especially when the levels in that game are like 3 times as freaking long as the levels in this game. Holy shit. There's this one level, I want to say it's like the 5th one, in the regular, harder, one of the paths, and it was not like an aqueduct, I'm trying to think here, it was like a crypt level, and there was this one part where you have to sit around and wait while these blocks stack up, so that you can go to the stairway that's on the ceiling, and oh my god, that level goes on for like 30 minutes, and if you get a game over, you have to redo the whole thing, and it's terrible. Ugh, but none of them ever get that bad in this game, but there's one that comes close. And if you played this game, you know which one it is. But when it comes to length, it's long, but it's not too long, and that's a good... By the way, I like how those rocks look like Metroids. I've always thought that was... Like, this is before they started taking, what's the word, before they started taking liberties with the sort of Metroid gameplay style. Like, there's this one, I want to say it's the Cave of Skeletons in Harmony of Dissonance. They have like these giant skulls that look like Crocomire's skull from Super Metroid. Ugh. Yeah, sometimes the Hop Hog does that. Not sure why. Like, for like a $250 capture card, you'd think the damn thing would do what it says on the tin, but sometimes it just won't record properly. Don't get the Hop Hog HD PVR 2, ladies and gentlemen. Get an Elgato, get a Live Gamer Portable, whatever it is that you want. I really should have done more research before I got my card. Ever since they released an update, it's been doing better, and I appreciate that, and for that reason I'm going to continue to use my Hop Hog until it wears itself out, but, you know, if you're looking for a good gaming capture card, if you want to do Let's Plays, if you want to do reviews, whatever it is that you want to do, go for an Elgato. Or, I would recommend also getting an HD capture card and not just a regular-ass one, because I have, like, this little Elgato that's supposed to be for, like, transferring videos from DVD or VHS, and it doesn't have a pass-through. So you either have to buy, like, a splitter, which decreases the video quality on both ends, or you have to play the game through the window on your laptop screen, and there can be a delay, and because the frame rate is lower, it's, you know, not as easy to play. I actually had to do that for for the Remake or Rebreak Mario videos. I did that. That was before I got the Hop Hog. I had to sit my ass in front of my laptop screen and play all the Game Boy Advance games through that, and it was, boy, it was not amazing, I can tell you that much. I would highly recommend getting something with a pass-through. And, yeah. That's all I have to say about that, I guess. What else can I talk about? I like this song. It's very peaceful, you know. It's the sort of thing that sort of runs through your head when you're riding down, or when you're like driving down a road in the middle of a mountain pass or something. It's just like, doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't know, I'm kind of weird, if you guys haven't noticed. Yeah. It's, and like I said it before, sorry about that, my fridge likes to make loud noises, and there's no way to turn it off, really. By the way, this Aquaduct level, nowhere near as god-awful as the one in Castlevania 3. There's this one Aqueduct level in Castlevania 3. Jesus Christ. Like, the last time I played that game, like, the first level is piss easy. Like, there's, like, no way you can get a game over. The second level's kind of hard, and you'll probably get a game over in that one. but like after that you should be able to beat it no problem. But then you get to the third level, and oh my god, it's like this Aquaduct level. It has a really cool song playing in it and everything, but see that dragon thing over there, the white dragon they're called? There are like 5 of those things in that level, and they all take 9 hits. 9 hits! And then there's this, then the boss, it's like impossible to dodge his attacks because he just flies all over the screen. And if you take 4 hits or get knocked into a pit, then fuck you, you gotta go all the way back to the middle part of the level and start all over again. And there's so much of that shit in Castlevania 3, and it just fucking pisses me off, man. I want to like it because it's got a really high production value for an NES game, but the difficulty balancing in that game is so off. Man, it's just really hard to enjoy what you're playing when, like, you have to constantly redo shit because they couldn't figure out that maybe 3 hits was good enough for the Bone Dragons, not 9 hits. 9 hits. But I digress. Obviously, falling in the water will kill you. Oh, something else I should comment on. Do you see those little ring bat things? Simon will, you probably noticed by now, but Simon can latch his whip onto them and use them as like a grappling hook. Like before there was the grapple beam in Super Metroid, there was Simon Belmont using his whip as a grappling hook. And they kind of reintroduced that in Lords of Shadow 1. I don't know if it's in the second game, because, like I said in the last part, I haven't played it yet. There's another gameplay thing I want to bring up, but there's probably a better time to do it, like when it's actually happening on screen. But, yeah. I did get Hyrule. Oh, pro tip. If you're on the stairs, then the knockback will not send you into a pit. You are not affected by knockback when you're on the stairs. And I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten myself killed because of those stupid bird things flying into me when I get off the stairs. So if you just stay on the stairs and use the, I don't know if I brought this up yet, but if you hold the whip button, you can, like, flail it around in the air. And if you do that while you're on the stairs and the small enemies like bats or birds are coming towards you, you can use it to kill them pretty easily, and you won't, if you get hit, you don't get knocked anywhere. So, pro tip for you there. This boss, not too hard. Unfortunately, you will kind of see here that when it comes to Castlevania, I am not amazing. It is not my forte. The fact that I spent 3 hours, yeah, that right there. I died. And I did cut out the backtracking because I didn't want you guys to have to watch that. If that's too disingenuous for you and you want to see all the gritty details of every playthrough, go watch someone else. I want to keep this moving, you know, especially since Halloween's coming up and I want the finale to be posted on Halloween, just because. Oh, so another pro tip. A lot of people don't know this. If you hold the jump button, then Simon, when you whip, he will not move. He will stand in place no matter what. That won't save you from knockback, obviously, but that means that if you're trying to whip up into the left, you won't move left while you're whipping up. That's an important tip. By the way, I love teabagging in this game. Most people when they think of teabagging, they think of like Call of Duty or Halo, but when I think of teabagging, I think of Super Castlevania 4. Because I love doing it to the bosses. Don't ask me why. This is where the game starts to get more challenging. Another accusation that kind of pisses me off is that a lot of people say, like, oh, Castlevania 4 is too easy. Has it occurred to you that maybe the other games were too hard? I honestly don't think this game is easy at all. It's relatively challenging, but not so challenging that's just like, oh my god, I'm spending 3 hours in this one level just trying to beat it because the enemies take 9 hits. No, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, okay, I've got to learn the level design, there's a little bit of trial and error and memorization, but not too much. It's kind of a tolerable amount, you know? Because I have the good control, I can hit tough enemies from around corners and whatnot. Because I have more control over my jumps, I'm not fucked if I miss, like, a centimeter or something. And, like, for the most part, I just feel like the challenge is more reasonable. It's more organic. It's not the sort of artificial, arbitrary bullshit that was in, like, Castlevania 3. I don't think Castlevania 1 is that bad. Like, really the worst it gets is level 5. Because you pretty much have to memorize the locations of the double strikes, the little tokens that let you throw more than one sub-weapon at once. Because if you don't do that, there's no way you're gonna get past death. I guarantee you that death will kill you. You have to memorize where the old things are, and you have to beat the whole level in one shot. You just have to. There's no other way to do it. That's the worst it gets, but for the most part, Castlevania 1 is pretty manageable, I find. It's not as hard as people give it credit for, but the third game, oh my god, that game is, like, impossible. I got to, like... Okay, I need to stop ranting about that, but... No, like, really, I just feel like, in general, the difficulty is more balanced here. It's the fun kind of challenge, and not the bullshit kind of challenge. This boss is, kind of tricky. Oh, the best way to take care of him is to get him to fly over top of you like that and just keep whipping up, because then whenever you hit him, he drops, like, coconuts from the ceiling. I don't know what those are supposed to be, but, he's pretty simple if you just do what I did, so... This room's kind of infamous. When most people think of Castlevania 4 and, like, some of the memorable set pieces, this is what they usually reference as the rotating room. Ooh, fancy 16-bit effects. And I'm sure that there will be some Sega Genesis fanboys in this video. One in particular who will note, like, well, Castlevania Bloodlines did this! And... No, like, I'm not... Really, I'm not one of those people that'll look at special graphical effects and go, oh wow, this is really awesome, this game is great, just because it has, oh, there's a rotating room, whoop-de-fucking-do. And, these special sort of graphical effects are here in Super Castlevania 4, but really what makes it good is the level design, and the control, and all the other facets of the game. Like, oh yeah, there's a rotating room, that's kind of cool, it's something, but that's not what makes this game a good game, you know? Same deal goes for Contra Hardcore. I don't care how that game is kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. And I want to like it because it's got lots of creative stuff in there, but the difficulty balancing in that game is, even by a Contra standards, it's pretty off. Like, I heard that in the Japanese version you have a life bar in Contra Hardcore, but you had like a 76 alive code or something like that, but when they ported it over to America, out of Japan rather, they got rid of the life bar, they got rid of the code, and they limited your continues. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me sometimes why Japanese developers would think, oh, we've got to make it harder for the Americans or they won't like it. The Streets of Rage 3 does that too, and it's just, I'm such a windbag, aren't I? I can't stay focused on one topic of conversation for more than 3 seconds, but I don't know, that's what happens when you have ADHD, folks, I'm sorry. At any rate, this is another set piece. Oh, by the way, I should bring this up. I don't know if it's... I do own the SNES card. I have played through it a few times, because I do really enjoy this game, so I come back to it all the time. It has a high degree of replay value for me. But I swear the Wii U version has some slowdown problems. It's not like everywhere, but in the rooms like the one with the rotating cylinder in the background, and another level coming up, it does feel like there's some slowdown here and there, and it's kind of annoying. It's not enough to kill, like, if you only own a Wii U and this is the only way you have to play the game, don't let that stop you, because it's not bad enough. It might also just have been the Hop Hog's fault, I don't know. The Hop Hog has a tendency to screw things over, but I also like this set piece. Like, this level right here is, it's at just the right length. It has some pretty cool set pieces and stage hazards and whatnot, and it's one of the best levels in the game, in my opinion. Oh, another thing that this game does well that the NES ones did not. You can actually get food. You can actually get your health back, and you don't die in 4 hits. Like, all those individual 16 bars in your health bar, those all do something. It's not like Castlevania 4 where you take 1 hit and like 1/4 of your health is gone. It's just like... just those little it's amazing just how little changes like that can make a game so much more fun to play. At least in my opinion. I'm sure there are a bunch of hardcore Castlevania classicists that are just going like, what the hell are you talking about? Those games are perfect. They're not. They're fun, and you know, they were designed within the parameters of their time, but they're not perfect, and I do have a right to my opinion. I'm sorry if that bugs you, but... And yes, I did die in this boss, and it's just like, oh, I only had one hit on him left. And it's just such a pain in the ass. This boss is kind of tough. I did not do a practice playthrough for this, mostly because I just don't have time. I just kind of wanted to record it and get it done with. I didn't have as much trouble as I thought I was going to, but from here on out I'm going to be dying pretty frequently. I actually didn't get a game over until a certain level in the game, which I was proud of. When I first played this game, I mean, like, it's a game that's based on skill. It's not a game that's based on, oh hey, there's this thing you just have to know about, otherwise you're gonna get killed and have to start over. It's not that Sonic 2 bullshit kind of difficulty that I hate so much. It's the kind of difficulty where you learn the controls, you learn the level design, you learn how to, you know, navigate around the set pieces and the stage hazards and whatnot, and you will win, and you will accumulate skill, and you will get better, and it'll be a fun accumulation of skill. This is an example of how to do challenge right, in my opinion. Sorry about that text message, but just love this game, what can I say? But at any rate, we'll be approaching Dracula's castle and actually entering it in part 3, so I'll see you guys next time.